Good morning, everyone, from beautiful Terra Verde, Florida. Today we are at Fort De Soto Park, getting ready to hit the beaches and check out the historical fort here on the beach as well. It's a beautiful island, and behind us is the beautiful Sunshine Skyway Bridge, which goes right into Sarasota. It's going to be a great time here, and I'm just looking forward to checking out everything this beach has to offer. Been coming here for many years, and it's just going to be a good time. Let's go hit the beaches. All right, guys. We're going to start here on the far left side. As soon as you enter the park, go all the way to your left side, and it is as far as you can go right before you hit water. That's exactly where we're starting this video today. Lex is hanging out at the beach right now, so we're going to be doing some walking while she's enjoying some reading, some listening to music, whatever she's going to be doing. But we are going to be checking out this beach here in Fort De Soto Park. It's going to be a good time, so let's go. The fish are jumping today. You can see the beautiful causeway. Not the causeway, but the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Going into Sarasota. This is definitely a beautiful park. One of the most historic parks in, I believe, Florida. Mostly due to the historical fort that we're going to be checking out a little bit later on. Man, that fish is jumping good today. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Would love to come out here and fish for sure. And they also offer kayaking tours here, where you can rent your kayak and come out and check out the water from your kayak and watch the fish jumping from your kayak. It's always a little warmer at this park, so be prepared for that. Bring plenty of water and sunscreen. Definitely going to need it, basically no matter what time you come out here. But right now, we are going to be heading off to our next stop in Fort De Soto. All right, everyone, we are back on the East Beach here in Fort De Soto, walking towards the beach from the parking lot. As you enter, you can see the playground is coming up. We have multiple swing sets here. You have the kids, you have the adult and fairly grown-up kids side over here. And then you have the kid swing set over here with a beautiful playground to your right. Playgrounds have definitely evolved since I was a kid. They even have a bottle station where you can fill up your bottles, which is nice to know. And then we're coming up on Pavilion 15. And as you can see as well, the restrooms are to your right, and there's another pavilion on the right side of that as well. We are coming up on our little beach area here. A little echoey in here, I hear. On the left side, there's plenty of open space, and to your left side here, or your right side rather, you have your showers from the beach. You can rinse off. There's even a handlebar there so you can hold yourself up. Plenty of shower heads is over here as well. Looks like we have some ships coming in to Port Tampa.
Cool.
And then just some insight: prohibited on the beach, bikes, grills, smoking, pets, as well as alcohol, and no drones. Pinellas County Ordinance Chapter 90, failure to comply may result in fines. This is also a smoke-free beach. Cigarette butts and vaping supplies contain plastics and toxins that are harmful to birds and sea life. So no smoking or vaping on the beach, or you will get a $118 fine. There's also no lifeguard on duty. And we're coming up on our little cabana here. And the beautiful water of the beach. So Hubbard's Marina is actually located off of Treasure Island, I think. He's got a big fishing fleet out there, and now he has a ferry boat here in Fort De Soto, where you can take the ferry into, I believe, all the way up and down the coastline here, as far as Pinellas County goes. We also have a container ship coming in on the other side as well. All right, so we are starting on the far, far left side of the East Beach on Fort De Soto, and we are going to be making our way to the other side here. Have you guys enjoy the sights and sounds of the ocean, so to say the Gulf of Mexico, and see what kind of birds we can find, what kind of animals we can see on the way over. This is one of the few beaches where it's not very windy either, which makes it a little hotter because there's no sea breeze, which is kind of strange to me, due to the fact that we have the entire Gulf of Mexico here. And we have a patrol coming up and down the beach here as well. Definitely giving a shout out to our park rangers. Thank you for keeping this place safe as well as clean. We appreciate you guys. Do your part as well by cleaning up the beach. Make sure whatever you bring in goes to the trash can at the end. If it's trash, throw it away. If it's recycle, recycle. Do your part to keep Pinellas beautiful, so we can continue doing videos like this and showing off what makes Pinellas beautiful. And a true paradise in Pinellas that we get to feature. I love doing these videos. I love showing you guys different parts of the area. And the one thing is, this is not about me. This is not about Lexi. This is really about the creation of Earth here in Pinellas, as well as the local shops and restaurants that help make this place what it is today. Looks like we have a whole crew coming in. come out on like a Thursday, it's like nobody here. It's really nice to have pretty much the beach all to yourself. Morning, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Beautiful day out.
Ate it?
All right, y'all, continuing down the right side of the beach here. Just got to meet a local here as well. Got to talk with him a little bit. That was nice. One thing about Florida and the beaches, they're very friendly people for the most part. Some people like to be kept to themselves, but I like to meet as many people as I can. Get to see their story, get to know them and why they're here and what they're doing, what makes Paradise and Pinellas for them. For him, it's this beach. For me, it's the beaches. The pools, the water, the boats. Love it. Oh, wow. If you go towards the water, you can sink in that sand pretty deep. Continue our walk of this beach here. Check out this thing too. Like a tree uprooted. They cut the top off, but didn't get rid of the bottom part. With mangroves. Some more uprooted palm trees and trees. Love the sound of the waves crashing on the shoreline. Oh, you guys want to see something pretty cool? Just noticed that on the inside here. There is a bat house right there. Don't get to see those very often, but they're about 20 feet high, and they're bats. Bats are not as scary as most people like to think they are. They actually help the mosquito population here, which is amazing because, as we all know, there is plenty of mosquitoes out on the beaches and the parks and just Florida in general. Some of us like to think that mosquitoes are the state bird of Florida. Kind of curious how far we can go. Hear a helicopter coming in. Not real sure what that's about, but got some little birdies on the beach. Flying away now. All right, bird. Jeez. It's always a beautiful day when you can walk the beach. Let's see, just the water and the boats out. The beautiful blue skies with some nice cloud cover. Never realized how long this strip was here. So, fun fact, based on the lack of footprints, I don't think too many people come this far out on the beach here or walk this much of the beach. But that's why we're here. Giving you guys a guided tour. Having you guys check out the pristineness of what this place is all about. Alright guys, I am getting a little hot right now and I need to go back for some water. So I'm going to end this video here and I'll see you guys at our next stop right here on Fort De Soto Park. Get ready for that in 3, 2, 1. Alright y'all, we have made it to the Bay Pier on Fort De Soto, coming up to the Egmont Key Ferry. Currently the ticket booth is closed. Well, let's just go check out some prices to the Egmont Key area, which I'd like to film as well. So let's look at this. Alright, departs from Bay Pier, $45 per adult, $25 for children 3 to 11. Children ages 2 and under are free, but ages 3 to 11 are $25 and 12 and up are $45. Shell key is $35 per adult, 12 and up, $20 for a child ages 3 to 11, and then children under 2 are also free. Looks like there's some schedules here, winter schedules and some summer schedules. If you guys want to check out more, go to hubbardsferry.com and take a screenshot. It lasts longer. Alright, let's go check out the pier. There's also Dog Beach apparently here as well. Got some fishing information here if you guys like fishing. Some redfish, yellowtails, mutts, grouper. Looks like a couple different kinds of grouper. Flounder. We got a lot of fish in here. We got some mackerel, king mackerel, Spanish mackerel, blackfin tunas. Wow, Got a lot of stuff in here. And then Egmont Key National Wildlife Refuge. Quick facts: established in 1974, 300 acres. Habitats: beach, sand dunes, cabbage palm forests, colonial sandbirds, shorebirds, wading birds, gopher tortoises, box turtles, loggerhead sea turtles, wildlife observation, photography, hiking, fishing, shell collecting. 300 acres of Egmont Key. That's a lot. Yeah, that's going to be another big video. If we can actually get out there, which would be nice. Coming up to the pier here. That. Pier fishing regulations: no more than 2 fishing rigs per angler, no unsupervised fishing rigs, no leaving caught fish on the pier deck, no strong fish and bait outside of closed containers, dispose of fishing line in provided containers, no shark fishing, that'd be fun, but no shark fishing, dispose of fish pieces from cleaning tables in provided containers, and then of course your prohibited items, which we went over before. And by getting rid of your line, they mean things like this: no trash, just the line that comes from your fishing. So if I went further up, we would have been coming up this way. We would have gotten to the pier. And then we're going to take the beach down that way in a minute, on the right side. Nice eagle. This is where the Egmont Key Ferry pickup point is. You would go down this ramp here, and it would pick you up right here. It's a nice day out on the pier here. Nice breeze coming in. Got some birds. Hi, bird. Hey, buddy. So here's one of the cleaning tables, the fillet stations. Got some birdies on the ledge here. They're all going to be leaving soon. Yep, there they go. And then this pier overlooks the gorgeous Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Gonna make a little lap around this pier here. Like I said, there's so much to discover in Pinellas County. Been doing this for 2 months now, and there is still so much more we have yet to uncover. looking forward to doing more videos like this, showing off more of what makes Pinellas beautiful, such as this. That's why we're here. You guys catch anything?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's out there today?
Oh, no good today.
No good today? Yeah.
Maybe 2, 3 or more.
Yeah? Hmm. Down here you guys can see Egmont Key to the distance. There's a lighthouse on Egmont Key. You can kind of see that from here. We'll eventually get out there. Hello. So according to the guy I just talked to, the fishing here is not very good. He's like 2-3 months out it'd be better. But as of right now, it's not good fishing apparently. Hello. I'm feeling those guys are tourists. They don't look like they're from around here. Yeah, we'll be walking on that beach pretty soon here, which I believe is the dog beach, yes. See some doggies down there, so I'm going to show you guys that area. And we will eventually be making it to the pier today. Just taking a little bit longer to get there. Alright, we are going to be making it to the dog beach now. Nice secluded area for the doggies. Before we get to the beach, I'm going to get, oh, no dogs on this beach, but dogs down there, maybe? Alright, coming out to the beach here. I'm going to take a right and go all the way down. Actually get over here. So Shelly Sand's a little hard on the feet. So let's actually get down to where we can. Now we're getting closer to the main dog beach here. Nice little strip of dog beach. People just starting to come out. Hey, buddy. Hi. It's so beautiful day out there. Hey, buddy. A whole bunch of dogs here. So apparently there's Shell Key and Egmont Key. Egmont Key, I believe, is out that way. And I believe Shell Key is out this way. But yeah, coming up to the end of the dog beach here. As you can see the signs, no pets beyond this point. And that's where we are going to pick up on the next part of this video here, as we continue on at Fort De Soto Park. Alright everyone, we have made it to the Fort De Soto Museum, open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we are going to be checking out the museum here in Fort De Soto, the Fort De Soto Quartermaster Museum. Fort De Soto's military history spans nearly 100 years over 3 wars: the Civil War, Spanish-American War, and World War II. The first recorded history of Mullet Key. Today, Fort De Soto Park was in 1849 when U.S. Army engineers, one of whom was future Confederate General Robert E. Lee, recommended the key to be fortified or solely utilized for coastal defense. In turn, this prohibited any private use or development. Conditions were so bad for the soldiers between the dense heat and mosquitoes that the chief surgeon wrote, "If this post is to continue as a station, life should be at least made bearable." The sale and consumption of alcohol was then permitted. So I got some of the submarine missiles that were used, as well as the day-to-day like plates and silverware and bottles that were once used as well. Heat, humidity, sand spurs, and snakes. Some of the old dresses the ladies wore once upon a time ago. In 1910, the Fort De Soto garrison, the 39th Company, was transferred to Fort Morgan, Alabama, and the fort became an active sub-post of Fort Dade, with a caretaker detachment in charge until 1914. Let's see. 1923, both Fort Dade and Fort De Soto were closed out and abandoned, with one lonely caretaker left at each. The reason for this decision was expressed in a letter written by the Secretary of War to the Governor of Florida. Fields of fire coastal defenses of Tampa Bay, Fort De Soto, and Fort Dade circa 1912. So as you guys can see, that was Tampa Bay, Gulf of Mexico. The weapons of Fort Dade and Fort De Soto had never fired at an enemy. However, several hundred practice rounds were fired at targets such as these, which were toward behind ships in Gulf of Mexico. So we are here, right? All this. That's crazy. How much of this was used for war back in the day? You guys can see some of the workshops that used to be your quartermaster's substance building, guardhouse, main storehouse, civilian quarters. Administration building, captain's quarters. None of this is here today. The barracks and fire, mass hall, kitchen. Mass hall, kitchen. Three individual photographs creating a panoramic view of Fort De Soto cast artillery military reserve on Mullet Key circa 1907. May 1899. There's so much history here, spanning all the way back to like 1800s. When Fort De Soto was built in the early 1900s, the lifestyle of the typical American Army soldier was quite different than what we think of today. Consisting of both enlisted regulars and volunteers, the United States military forces, assembled for the Spanish-American War, brought together the most diversified fighting force in U.S. history. There were veterans of the Indian Wars and veterans from both sides of the Civil War whose fathers fought against one another. There were nearly Americanized European immigrants and a large group of African American soldiers. There were poor and uneducated farmers and laborers training and drilling alongside college graduates from wealthy families. So you had everybody together. This is crazy that all this happened here in Fort De Soto. Absolutely nuts. The early history of the islands. I don't want to read all of this, but if you guys want to definitely come out and check this out and read it for yourself, you definitely can. This is absolutely crazy. All of the stuff. Oh wow, that's what an exploded cannonball looks like. The Civil War era of 1861 to 1865. That's crazy. Alright guys, well, that's it for here. I'm going to be heading down this little pathway here to show you guys a little bit more of what used to be built here, and between all the storms and just time erosion, it's not there anymore, but the stilts, the little pegs for the ground, are actually still here behind the reconstructed quartermaster building we were just in. The original building foundations were located by volunteers and park staff using 1911 blueprints. The footers of brick piers that you see along this trail were reconstructed on the original foundations by park staff and Eagle Scouts. These foundations were buried in the sand and required excavation before the brick piers could be reconstructed. The brick road and portions of the concrete curbs and sidewalks are original. Please use caution on the trail due to uneven surfaces in certain areas. So the quartermaster storehouse contained supplies for the soldiers. The quartermaster was responsible for procuring and issuing supplies for the fort. This was an 833 square foot frame building, which was a cypress shingle roof constructed at a cost of $190 back then, which today is probably $190,000 at the very least. In the early 1900s, Fort De Soto had a tremendous mosquito population. The troops could not even enjoy the nice beaches on the island due to the vampire pests the Post quartermaster gave this report in 1908. The suffering of the men daily at work or drill has been greater than can be imagined by any who have not actually experienced it. There have been nights that the men have had no sleep due to mosquitoes in quarters. Even though mosquito bars/nets were used, at present, life for the men is a torture both night and day, and mosquitoes have to be fought with a bush continuously, whether at work or resting. I mean, the mosquitoes are bad today, but apparently back then they were drastically worse. We come up on the first marker here. See this little podium-like foundation piece here, which used to be the bakehouse, was constructed in 1900 through 1901 at a cost of $1,557 and had 619 square feet of floor space. This three-room frame building had a slate roof, one wash sink, and supplied all the baked goods for the fort. So all the way out there, around in the middle, and then you have the back of this bakehouse. And continuing on, there were two civilian quarters at Fort De Soto. They were two-story, 1,062 square foot frame buildings with slate and tin roofs. There were 5 rooms and 1 bath with indoor plumbing. Officers' quarters are visible in the background on the left. So here was one of the houses on these stilts here. And continuing on, looks like the sign for this was taken down, but just to give you guys a perspective of this other building that was here. And we're making our way further down to the beach. There's just so much of this stuff here. It's crazy. Like there's even this down here. It's crazy how this used to be a war zone. And now it's paradise and Pinellas. So essentially, that goes to show that there was sacrifice made to keep paradise and Pinellas. You guys can see more of the little piers and pickets in the ground here. Coming out here even more. coming up on this structure, which, as you guys can see even more, we'll turn around and look at that from the other side in a moment. Right now, we are coming up on this beauty here, which was the post had a sewer system. I guess this is the sewer tank. Considered modern in those days, which drained into the Gulf of Mexico and Tampa Bay through 6 and 8-inch pipes. It was installed at a cost of $3,426 back then. The structure in front of you, which we're looking at now, was known as a flush tank. There were 4 of these located on the post. There was a constant flow of water into the flush tank and then through the sewer lines to keep the sewage flowing properly. And then the lavatory, constructed in 1901 at a cost of $5,547, covered 1,006 square feet and had facilities designed to serve one company, 106 soldiers, 16 wash basins, 5 showers, 2 tubs, 8 toilets, and 8 urinals. The post firehouse was constructed in 1905 at a cost of $1,180. The 720 square foot frame structure with a cypress shingle roof held 1 engine, 1 hook and ladder, and 1 hose cart. The photograph was taken back in 1906. I'm not going to read all of these, there's so many and I really don't want to make this video too long. But if you guys find this interesting, definitely come out and check it out for yourself. I could literally make an entire video on the history of this park here. And for time, I am not going to do that today. We will definitely have to come back out and explore this again. But one last piece here I want to show you guys is the officers' quarters were constructed in 1901 at a cost of $5,529 each. The 3 identical buildings each had 2,938 square feet of living space, which is like 2-3 times bigger than our apartment right now. The photograph was taken in 1905. The 10-room frame building had a slate roof with 2 bathrooms. As you can see here. And then the view that they had back then is pretty impressive. As you guys can see, this construction is still here from back in the wartime, where they would have to move gear and guys into the water, into the beach here, get on their ships and go. Picking back up here, we're going to be going on this pier pretty soon. Check that out as well. And then there's the beach on the other side that we'll be walking down as well, showing you guys more of the many, many, many miles of beach line here in Fort De Soto Park. Coming up on the pier here now. So from what I'm gathering here today, there's 2 piers in Fort De Soto. This is the furthest one down to your right side as you enter the park. Might be able to see some dolphins out here too. Got plenty of these fillet stations out here on the pier. Looks like some of this pier is actually closed off for construction purposes. See how hot it is now. Looking back at where we came from. Further down the pier here. But I remember back in the Civil War days, World War II. It's just as hot back then as it is today. But imagine wearing all that gear, all those military clothes. I can only imagine how many men didn't survive and died from heat stroke because of that. And definitely please don't feed the birds.
Lady here. Right here, lady right here. Right in front of me.
Any luck?
No.
No?
They
Hmm.
Yeah, sounds good.
Any luck?
No.
No?
In the morning, yeah.
Hmm.
I am fishing in the new pier.
Yeah, yeah.
Break with one fishing pole
Hmm.
and break the fishing line.
Yeah.
I don't know what I have.
Hmm.
Maybe shark too.
Yeah, maybe. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to be picking up back on the beach in just a moment here. Catch you on the other side. This is actually right next to the pier here. You can actually walk out here. There's the waves. Not going to get too close. Right about here. It's kind of strong here too. Back on the beach we go. No swimming dangerous currents currently. The waves are nice though today. Water's nice and warm. No lifeguards on this beach either. Do not climb, keep off the rocks. I can't even tell you how many people I see actually on these rocks all the time. Water's a little choppy today. All right, y'all. In the next clip, we're going to be going right to the fort here, and then I'm going to have to make a second part video to this later on. It's just getting later. This video is probably already an hour as it is. I do want to show you guys the fort that I promised you guys right about now. All right, heading towards the pier now, or the fort now. Historic fort. This way. Welcome to Fort De Soto Park. For your enjoyment and safety, please obey the rules. No wildlife feeding, bicycling, skateboarding, gun climbing, and roller skating. So, if you guys want to know where the trees have gone, if this is a return visit for you, you might notice something is missing. The palms and strangler fig trees that were growing in, on and around Battery Lakeland are no longer here. Park personnel carefully removed them to preserve the integrity of the fort structure. The tree roots were beginning to cause structural damage to this very precious and historic site. We hope you'll continue to enjoy your visit of Fort De Soto today. So going into one of the bunkers here. You guys a wide view of this. Kind of cooler in there, which is nice. And then we're going to come out here to one of the cannons. You guys can see the blueprint drawing here. That goes into this cannon thing here, which is where they would load the cannon in there. So let's do this real quick. Load the cannon in there. Let's fire it out into the abyss. So I believe there's water on the other side of this mainland here. And then you guys can see the main fort area here. And then coming into the dark spaces. Let's see. Get this going. Nope. Alright, so it's a little dark in here. I believe this is where all the gear was hiding and all the ammo and everything. Yeah. Data booth, apparently. Some hideouts here. And then we have more cannons going the other direction. Some piping along the wall here. And then another drawing. One thing I always tried when I was a kid was to turn these things, but they are locked now. Cannot turn those, but this is what it looks like. One of the cannons. The other cannon over here. This is kind of crazy what this place used to be and how intense things were here. Fort De Soto batteries and military post. After the United States entry into the Spanish-American War, Tampa citizens demanded increased coastal defenses. In November of 1898, construction began on a new military post on Mullet Key. Fort De Soto, named in 1900, featured 29 post buildings, including barracks, hospital, stable, guardhouse, administration office, mess hall and kitchen, bakehouse, storehouse, and workshops. 2 mortar batteries defended the fort. The primary one, Battery Laidland, which is where we are here, housed 8 12-inch M1890 MI mortars with a range of 1.25 to 6.8 miles. The secondary one, Battery Bigelow, held 2 3-inch 15-pound Driggs Seabury Model 1898 rapid-fire guns. These guns were needed to stop smaller, faster vessels and to protect the 1.25-mile area surrounding the fort that Battery Laidley could not. 4 mortars from Battery Laidley remain and are the only mortars of their kind in North America. The only other ones in the world are in the Philippines. Battery Bigelow collapsed into the Gulf of Mexico, but its ruins can be seen in the surf southwest of Battery Laidley. The Fort De Soto batteries and military posts were listed on the National Fort De Soto batteries and military posts was listed in the National Registry of Historical Places in 1977 and designated a local historic landmark by Pinellas County in 2014. A Florida Heritage Site sponsored by the Pinellas County Historic Preservation Board in the Florida Department of State. It's a lot of reading. And then we had more of these, like, massive cave-like things here. So one thing is that I've noticed from previous experiences is this is actually pretty haunted in here. You guys can see another one of the like military, I don't even know what these are, laying out here, and this is what a lot of them used to be here. But yeah, if you come out here by yourself, it's kind of haunted. This is actually pretty cool. You guys can check out the Egmont Key battleground layout here. Some more pictures. Used to be a tower. Very echoing here, so I'm not going to probably talk much. As you guys can see, there is a lot to learn out here. The old houses and so much in this fort. Alright, one more thing I'm going to take you to is the upper deck. Oh, maybe not. Maybe there's one more inlet here. Yep, there's another 2 cannons on this side. So these were the mortar model 1890 M1s, 12-inch Seacoast mortars. These 12-inch mortars were manufactured by Waterlet Arsenal, Waterlet, New York in 1901. You guys can take a screenshot of this and read more of that later on. There's just so much to look at. Whew. Oh, there's another cannon out here. Take you guys to now. And one last thing I'm going to take you to is the upper deck. And then over here you have more of the same that you had on the other side. Alright, coming up on this ramp, which takes you to the top of the fort here. Stand up on this bench here and you guys can see more of kind of an aerial shot of the top of the fort here. Making our way further to the top of this fort. You had to be in some serious shape to be in the war here. Like, I'm pretty in shape now, but man, to have all those pounds of gear on you in this heat, going up this and around this, it's just a lot. I'm going to take you guys to as far up of an aerial shot that I can possibly give you right now. You guys can check out an aerial shot right in the middle on top of the fort here. I'll give you a 360 view